I'm Dr. Reed. I'm the medical director here at Seattle Humane, and I wanted to tell you about Socks. Socks is a kitty, 4-month-old male neutered cat that came to us in June from an owner that had too many kittens and cats in their house. Socks was one of a litter that had some diarrhea and was in our care for a little bit of time and then got neutered and quickly adopted. And after adoption, the adopter noted that he was doing some vomiting, what they considered to be vomiting. And so when we took some x-rays, we found out that he had megaesophagus. And in a young kitten, that's most likely caused by an anomalous vessel that should have gone away when they were still developing, but in his case it didn't. So it was just constricting his esophagus so the food couldn't get into his stomach. So we managed it medically with small frequent meals. He was in foster. He did develop aspiration pneumonia because if you can't swallow your food, you sometimes choke on it. And so we looked for some other options for Socks. So surgical removal of that weird little vessel, and that's something that only a boarded vet specialist in surgery can do. So at Seattle Humane, we have the ability to do lots of surgery. We have 2 operating rooms. This is one. We do spay-neuter surgery, biopsy surgery, mass removals, eyelid surgeries, amputations. We can do a lot. We don't have the ability to put animals on ventilators or really anything that involves cutting into the chest because there's a lot of important structures in there. So we reached out to one of our colleagues at SVS and they did that surgery for Socks 2 weeks ago now, and he's doing really, really well. He had an original appointment where he had an exam and a CT scan. So that way they were able to identify the vessels that needed to have surgery. He had some pneumonia at that point, so we treated him for a little bit longer. He had his surgery and he's recovering really well in foster. At the time of surgery, they removed that vessel and they dilated his esophagus, so they proved that it worked. So he's eating some soft food for now, and then he has a recheck scheduled, I believe, early next week. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we need to ask for help, and our budget for general operations doesn't really take into account outside services. So we have a small budget for those services every year, and we try to save those for emergency cases, either a complication during surgery or a foster emergency, so that we can send the foster parents to an emergency room. So when we come across these cases that we can't treat but are treatable, we need to figure something else out. In this case, we decided to just go for it, and since Socks is a young, cute, healthy kitten otherwise, we really wanted to make this possible for Socks. We went ahead and paid for this, but we don't have the funds to replenish. So we're hoping that our community can help support Socks so that we can save more animals and do more procedures like this.